Hello, welcome to Cosmetology and Commentary Inside High Key Life 323. I'm Bossy. Let's talk. Listen, today we just gonna have this quick little convo about current topics. I'm in between clients. I got one underneath the dryer, so we're gonna make this quick. Listen, this whole situation with Shannon Sharp, all of us was talking about it today, like every hairstylist, every barber. Let's get this understood. There is no empathy and no sympathy here, baby. This is a 60-plus-year-old man. This is an AARP recipient. This is a blue plate special. He is a black shoe polish representative, aka no Dramaine. We got to stop this right now. Stop with the defense. There is no defense for Shannon the Sharp. There's no defense for this man. This man did everything that he did out of his own willingness. He went down and around and jumped down into the snow. He covered himself. Now, let him figure it out. Let him melt all this ice off of himself. He did this to himself. No one else. Let's get this all the way understood. Shannon Sharp is completely responsible. And if we look at the situation just on face value, he looks rather what? Guilty. Yes, he looks real guilty, okay? Real guilty. Them text messages is a mess. This little Dora the Explorer little girl, it's a mess. Then Shannon is so old school and countrified. He really thinks slandering this girl is the route to go. He talking about she's an OnlyFans. Don't nobody care nothing about selling no cuckoo. You already know. Meat, you got to pay. Good cat will never be free fillet. Do you understand? When I say meat got to pay, meat gonna pay on the back end or the front end. One of the ends he gonna pay, but you're going to pay. You're going to pay if the cat gets upset. Understand? He knew that the cat was upset how? When he tried to settle for $10 million. $10 million. Okay? Now let's figure out what actually took place and what happened with the scenarios of his ex-employment situations. Remember, Freak Nasty, aka Fox Sports Network. Remember, that lawsuit is still jumping off, baby. Let's never forget about Taylor and all them. You know what I'm talking about? So it's a lot, a whole lot of. He is the problem. Shannon is getting bad advice. I'm gonna stop joking. I'll just be real. Shannon Sharp is getting terrible advice. I feel like no one around him cares about him. No one loves him, because if they did, they would have stepped in to stop this. No one in their right mind would sit there in that little space with his little suit on and his RuPaul reject makeup, because the makeup artist got to go and whoever putting that black shoe polish on his head got to go. But he's sitting up there nonetheless looking guilty. Nothing but guilty. There is no way that he should have done this, because if you go back and you watch, his podcast, his episodes, he said so many things that, any lawyer, any good lawyer worth of salt can utilize in the front of, a jury. We are in a different day, a different time. One, what are you doing? You are an AARP representative. You was a 60, 55, 58, 60 year. You between 55 and 60. What are you doing? That baby is 19. That's a baby. I don't care what nobody's saying. Anybody on here getting in these comments trying to tussle, baby, go ahead, because my name Russell. Okay, we will tussle. Do not get in these comments with this nonsense. Anybody who is defending Shannon, you need to be ashamed of yourself. There is no defense here. And yeah, wait for it all to play out in court, since that's where he want to take it. But I believe Shannon's ego is going to be bigger than his career in his pockets. Because understand, this is a snow bunny. This is a snow bunny, honey. What do we know about the snow bunnies? What do we know when it comes to the judicial system and snow bunnies? How he think this finna play out? He really think that he this powerful and all? Do he see what we got going on in the world? He better pray that he don't end up in Chanel bracelets. He better pray that he don't get a freak off Rico. Stop playing, because we know this. History has shown us Where there's smoke, there's a fire. Okay? Shannon comes off as controlling, but you've seen that. He's displayed that several times over. Shannon is that one uncle that our auntie divorced, meaning our auntie-in-law, we kept her as the auntie and we deal with him as the uncle. Amen. Come on, somebody. He's moved from the uncle on our mama side that we love to the uncle on our daddy side. And y'all know what that means if y'all from the West Coast. It's the difference between our mama side and our daddy side, okay? Listen, Shannon put himself in this situation. And he dealt with a 19-year-old girl. This is a baby. Something is not right there. That is a control situation. There's no way that it could be looked at or perceived any other way. I would say that he put himself out there in that snow, and I don't believe he's going to be able to dig himself out. And if they get to digging around in his background, they're already saying allegedly, it's out here on YouTube and everywhere else. He's been sued. This ain't the first time. So if you know you got something to lose, translation, I'll say this. The same thing that I tell, I have nephews. I got cousins that's, in and out of the league, going around the league, sports. I got cousins that play overseas. Listen. You have to protect yourself when you're dealing in snowland, okay? And I don't know when will men understand that things can happen when you put yourself in these kind of situations. And this is a 19-year-old girl who, when you hear her in these recordings, just know she got more. She got more. For her to turn down 10 M's, baby, she got more. And whoever this lawyer is that's representing him needs to be ashamed of himself. There's no way that he should even be opening up his mouth to talk. He's trying to save face and cover himself because he knows the power of social media. But, sir, you are 60. This baby is 19. This is a child. Are you serious? This baby like 18, 19, probably 20 now. Sir, your daughter is older than she is. She's old enough to be your granddaughter. That's sick. That's nasty. Something ain't clicking and clacking for him. And the more and more we learn about him, the more and more you seeing that this is not really a person that, he's starting to give us the ick and the nah of it all. I would say that he needs better representation. And he needs to settle this before it gets too far. And he thinks that Busby, the situation with him, is going to save face. No, it ain't going to save face. It ain't. And him saying that, she a OnlyFans. Like, you out here twirling around with OnlyFans? Like, who is your people? It's a whole lot of grown women around here that'll do what you need to do, and they adults. And it probably won't cost you too much. You just doing things backwards, and you doing things very old school and outdated. Outdated, sir. You out here moving around like Paw, and you finna get popped, and that girl finna get all your Social Security. Now, you done this to yourself. This situation, you done this to yourself. Nobody can help you. And, I see it's a lot of, people that mess with him with the podcast and all that stuff, and they out here trying to defend him. And I understand everybody trying to defend the bag, but it's a little too late. Y'all fighting from behind the 8-ball. The level that Shannon Sharp is, and I work with, wealth and real wealth, not, rich, some stuff you can lose in Vegas in one night. But there's a certain way that, people in the upper echelon of life move. And he is just not moving like that at all. And he literally be trying to preach to everybody else. And look at you. You got caught up like a young man out of high school. You're a grown adult man, and you know better than this, and you embarrass yourself again, and you just continue. I don't know if this kind of fame, like you said, you wasn't used to it and you wasn't ready for it, and I just believe you're not ready for this level of fame, because y'all got to remember, Uncle Shay, he was a football player. He never was popping like that. Like, he wasn't Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? Like, Ray Lewis was popping back in the day, millennial here. So yeah, he's not, he not Troy Polamalu. He ain't none of them. He wasn't popping like that. So I think this level of fame has just gotten to him. And, sometimes when you get, a different level of money, people say that money is the root of all evil. No, money just unmasks you. Money just shows what was already there, and it enhances it, because money is a yes where there was a no. You understand? And I think Shannon needs some no's in his life. He needs some ramifications, some consequences. For himself. He needs to stop. He needs somebody in his life that can stand up to him and say, no, don't do this. Don't do that. Like, I think, the ironic part is Auntie Monique was trying to help Unc. And Auntie Monique, that's our mom that's our auntie on our mama's side. We love her no matter what. She was trying to help him. I think she probably seen it when talking to him and was like, let me give him, because she a Sag. I'm a Sagittarius too. I think she just was trying to help him, and tell him like, hey, you need to not. And what she said, age well, because look what happened. Look what happened. He had no business. I don't care how you cut the cake. This is a grown man. This man is a senior citizen. What are you doing with a baby? 19, 20. That's a baby. That she's old enough to be your granddaughter. That's a problem. Something is not clicking and clacking there, sir. You gotta fix that. You gotta fix that. But just know, you get to this point and then you throw it all away. You throw it all away for a little girl, for a 19-year-old, bruh. What you want? What is you on? You work so hard to get to this point. You done built up these podcasts, all that. You out here messy as you want to be, answering all these messy questions. And look, you got where you at. But now look, everything you got finna come crumbling down because of your ego. If you was really, about your business, this would have never came to the public. Straight up. This would have never came to the public. The public would have never known about this. They should have never known about this. The public should have never been involved in this at all. This should have been something that should have been handled behind closed doors. And Busby said that you offered, if I'm not mistaken here, 10 million was on the table and you did it in writing, or your lawyers or whatever did it in writing. That's not a good look. It's not a good look at all. This should have never went public. And I think people need media training, need to come back, and we need to go back to the times of, Miss Norwood, Brandy Mama, the momager, Ashanti Mama, Mr. Nose. We need that kind of management and care and handling things. You need Olivia Pope level scandal, bruh. You in a whole situation and you put yourself here. Nobody put you there. Be clear. And for our community, cut it out. Cut it out. We can't defend this. We just got to sit back and let it happen. And I'm talking to the males in our community, because the women, we don't care. Because this subject, I really don't care about. I just came to put this up real quick because this is something that everybody was talking about at the salon. And I was like, let me just upload this real quick, my opinion and my thoughts. My thoughts are, our uncle on our daddy side, or our daddy little brother, our daddy little freak nasty brother. Okay? He did this. He did this to himself. That's what I say. When I'm saying he did this, I mean he did it to himself. He's responsible for his own misjudgment. When I say misjudgment, baby, the judgment never was there, because he never, be clear, he shouldn't have been in the proximity of this 19-year-old. If he had people around him that really cared about him, they would have never let this happen. You can go buy you a chick. You know what I'm saying? Why y'all be doing this? Y'all can go buy an adult woman. What I mean is, you get with a woman, you work out what you want, you handle your business. Okay? This is not the way to do it. Because, sir, now look at you. Now you finna be looked at. You already was freaky, but now you finna be looked at as a freak nasty man. And people gonna be clenching their granddaughters around you now, grabbing them up. Whoa. Here comes Shannon. Let me get my granddaughter. She ain't but 19. You know how he is. You finna be going through that now. Now people finna be looking at you sideways and crazy. This is not cute. This ain't culture neither. This is not cute. And understand, Shannon, they gonna show you what you are not. You don't have the power that you think you have. Because if you did, sir, if you did, this would have never came and went anywhere. Is anybody talking about Robert Kraft? Anybody? Nah, they ain't talking about him because Robert Kraft got real money. That's a real boss. That's a real beast. That's real power. He gonna do what he gotta do. I bring that up to show. Is anybody talking about Robert Kraft anymore? Absolutely not. And on that note, I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one. And I hope everybody is safe out there. Stay safe. To the 92 Brigade, I love y'all. Let's stand on business. Let's continue to take care of ourselves and drink our water because this ain't got nothing to do with us. And this is all pop culture commentary. This is all allegedly and independent of any nonsense. This is just an opinion piece, fair use, and all that there. See y'all on the next one. Bossy. Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay? And let me know what y'all think in the comments. See y'all.